Tonight, what could be the biggest snowstorm in 2 years in New York City and parts of the Northeast, hitting just hours from now. And just in tonight, the deadly shooting on the New York City subway right at rush hour, multiple people shot. First, the major winter storm hitting just hours from now. The winter storm warnings tonight in New York City. Heavy snow and rain from Arkansas to Washington, D.C., from Philadelphia to New York to Boston. Treacherous driving for the morning commute. Ginger Z standing by to time this out. Also breaking, that deadly shooting on the New York City subway. At least 6 people shot. The horror playing out a short time ago on a subway platform right during rush hour. Also tonight, the deadly shooting at Joel Osteen's Megachurch in Houston. Police tonight now identifying the alleged shooter, a mother armed with an AR-15, just before service was about to start. Tonight, the White House taking aim at Donald Trump after Trump said he would encourage Russia to attack NATO allies if they don't pay more for defense of NATO. Tonight, the dramatic video, 2 hostages rescued, held captive for 4 months in Gaza. Israeli commandos rappelling down with the hostages, James Longman in Israel. Tonight here at home, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin back in the hospital in critical care, what we've now learned. Tonight, the newly released body camera video, a woman shot multiple times by police in her friend's apartment. 2 deputies unleashing a barrage of gunfire, shooting and wounding the woman after calls from another neighbor of a potential burglary. She was there with the woman who lived there. The health scare tonight, authorities say it's related to smallpox and it comes from animals. They're seeing this in Alaska. And tonight, the Super Bowl making history, and the player who caught the game-winning pass, McCole Hardman Jr., right here. He says he doesn't remember his game-winning moment, how he blacked out.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. It is great to start another week with all of you at home. We do begin tonight with that major winter storm set to hit in just hours. New York City, in fact, under a winter storm warning right now, the first time in 2 years. In fact, 48 million Americans under winter alerts from Arkansas to New York to Boston. New York City schools will be remote tomorrow. Boston schools already closed. Authorities are warning of a treacherous morning commute right up the I-95 corridor. You see it right there, rain turning to snow. And it's when that shift happens that will determine the snow amounts. Up to 8 inches in New York City and Boston, up to a foot further inland. These images tonight of the snow-covered roads from already in Branson, Missouri from this system. Tonight across the Northeast, an army of snowplows at the ready. This is Philadelphia's PennDOT Operations Center. More than 300 flights already canceled tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z leading us off tonight, timing this all out for us. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, David. With those 2 to 3 inch per hour snowfall rates, New York City could see more snow in 1 hour than we've seen the entire winter. We're still in some 16-inch deficit, and we are not alone. Look at this map. If you see a winter storm warning, that pink color, you're about to get a lot of snow, and that's coming tomorrow. So let's talk about who gets what and when, because there are also coastal flood alerts and gusts that will go up to 40 miles per hour. So it's going to feel stormy as this thing wraps up. It comes in overnight as rain, and then it mixes with enough cold air that it'll change over to snow right at the drive time. 7 to 9 a.m., we're getting that heavy snow along I-95. Hartford, back through the Hudson Valley, northwestern New Jersey, getting some of the heaviest snow all the way through late morning. Then after the noon hour, things start to dwindle from west to east. Boston wraps up, and they find themselves right on that edge of the heavy snow, maybe in that 3 to 6, right on the 6+ edge. But back to Hartford, that's where the heavy stuff is. New York City, right on the edge as well. But again, it's going to be wet, it will be heavy, and it will come with many other impacts. Certainly going to be a big one, and the biggest we've seen, as you mentioned, in about 2 years. David.
All right, Ginger, we'll be watching you first thing in the morning on Good Morning America. In the meantime, we're also following the breaking news just in tonight, this deadly shooting on the New York City subway just a short time ago at the beginning of rush hour. On a subway platform in the Bronx, at least 1 person has died tonight. The suspect seen fleeing the scene. The subway cars stopped at the station. The images coming in, NYPD officers helping a person who appears to be injured. ABC's Trevor Ault tonight with the video just coming in.
Tonight, the urgent manhunt after a deadly subway shooting during rush hour in New York City.
We have multiple people shot at the Mount Eden Avenue 4 line.
Police say just before 5 p.m., the shooter opened fire on the platform of the Mount Eden Avenue train station in the Bronx, not far from Yankee Stadium. At least 6 people shot, 1 of them killed, the gunfire erupting as passengers waited for the train.
Now police are starting to put out evidence markers, which are indicating that there are shell casings here right on the subway platform.
The NYPD and ATF swarming the scene, officers leading a victim away from the bloodstained platform.
We heard maybe around 14 shots back to back.
Police saying the suspect ran from the scene and no weapon has been recovered.
David, police sources say the shooting was the result of some sort of dispute. 5 of the victims' injuries are believed to be non-life-threatening, but that 6th victim died at the hospital. David.
All right, Trevor Ault with us tonight. Trevor, thank you. We're learning more tonight after that deadly shooting at Pastor Joel Osteen's Megachurch in Houston. Tonight, authorities now identifying the suspect, a mother with an AR-15, who opened fire. Her 7-year-old son, one of 2 people shot. He was shot in the head and is in critical condition tonight. This was the scene inside, the sound of shots sending people trying to hide just before services were set to begin. Tonight, ABC's Mireya Villarreal from Houston.
This was the terrifying moment when authorities say 36-year-old Secy Moreno walked into Joel Osteen's famed Lakewood Megachurch with her 7-year-old son and opened fire with an AR-15. Shots thundering inside the hall just before a Spanish-language service was set to start.
I started screaming, there's a shooter, there's a shooter. Then we all ran to the very back side of the library. 2
off-duty officers returning fire.
The 7-year-old child falls to the ground as well from gunfire.
Moreno's son shot in the head in critical condition. Moreno pronounced dead at the scene, found with anti-Semitic writings on her person.
There was a sticker on the buttstock of the rifle that stated Palestine. A sticker simply stated Palestine.
Authorities say the weapon was purchased legally in December, despite reports of a history of mental illness and a criminal record involving weapons.
We want to know the motive, how she got the weapon, why she did this. We're not there yet.
Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church is the 3rd largest megachurch in the U.S., and Osteen's sermons are broadcast around the world.
We're going to pray for that little 5-year-old boy and pray for the lady that was deceased, her family and all.
In a statement, Osteen writing they are devastated by today's events and grateful for the swift actions of law enforcement.
David, we pressed the FBI on how somebody with a weapons charge could have legally bought 2 guns. Now, we didn't get a straight answer, but they said that is a big part of their investigation, and they're also delving in to Moreno's mental health history as well. David.
Mireya Villarreal tonight from Houston. Mireya, thank you. We turn now to the race for president tonight. The White House taking aim at Donald Trump for saying he would encourage Russia to attack NATO allies if they don't pay enough for defense of NATO. Well, Trump doubling down tonight, but the White House saying the mere suggestion that he would encourage Russia to attack our allies should alarm voters. Mary Bruce at the White House.
Tonight, the White House taking on Donald Trump for threatening to abandon our NATO allies and actually encouraging Russia to attack them if they fail to meet defense spending targets.
One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want.
NATO countries don't pay set dues to the alliance and don't owe the U.S. money. They do, however, commit to spending a certain amount on national defense, and a majority of them have not reached that goal. Trump's threat sparking immediate concern overseas.
Frankly, I think this is exactly what Putin loves to hear. Our strength is our unity, and if we're not united, that makes us weaker.
NATO's Secretary General saying any suggestion that allies will not defend each other undermines all of our security.
Mr. President, your message to NATO.
At the White House, President Biden tight-lipped, but the administration making it clear.
We will defend, if needed, every inch of NATO territory. That's what the Commander-in-Chief of the United States ought to be saying when it comes to NATO.
Trump's Republican rival Nikki Haley saying Trump's comments put all U.S. troops at risk, saying the last thing we ever want to do is side with Russia.
He just put every military member at risk and every one of our allies at risk.
Let's get to Mary Bruce live at the White House tonight, because, Mary, I know you're also following another developing headline at this hour, because Donald Trump is now asking the Supreme Court to intervene in the federal election interference January 6th case after the appeals court ruled that Trump does not have immunity in this case.
David, this does all have to do with that federal election interference case. Just last week, a 3-judge panel in the D.C. appeals court rejected Trump's argument that he can't be prosecuted for his actions while in office. And now Trump is asking the Supreme Court to pause that ruling so that he can pursue his appeals. And if Trump gets his wish, David, it could delay this case until after the election. David.
Mary Bruce at the White House tonight. Mary, thank you. Overseas tonight, and the dramatic rescue video. 2 Israeli hostages freed from captivity in Gaza. The 2 men had been held, as you know, for 4 months now. They are back with their families tonight. Right here this evening, the dramatic video from the actual rescue itself. Israeli commandos rappelling down with those hostages. Our foreign correspondent, James Longman, from Israel tonight.
New images tonight after Israeli forces launched a daring operation to rescue 2 Hamas hostages. Fernando Simon Marman and Louis Haar were choppered to this hospital in the middle of the night after more than 4 months in captivity. Just before 2 a.m, IDF say they stormed a heavily armed building in Rafah, finding the 2 men held at gunpoint on the 2nd floor. The hostages rappelled from the balcony by Israeli commandos. The mission lasting 40 minutes. 1 Israeli soldier sustaining minor injuries. Marman and Haar reunited with their families at the hospital, joy and relief, but concern that so many other hostages remain.
I also remember today and every day, and especially now, all the other families that their beloved people are still back in Gaza.
Massive airstrikes across Rafah during the operation. Hamas says more than 100 Palestinians were killed. Israel says the strikes were part of the mission. They say this war has left more than 28,000 dead. President Biden and other world leaders warning against the IDF pushing into Rafah.
Many people there have been displaced multiple times, fleeing the violence to the north, and now they're packed into Rafah, exposed and vulnerable. They need to be protected.
The population of Rafah now 6 times larger than what it was when the war began. 1.4 million now facing the prospect Israel could launch a ground attack.
And on a ceasefire, David, the US is sending Bill Burns, CIA director, to Egypt this week to try to restart those stalled negotiations. Israel has yet to commit to sending a representative. David.
All right, James Longman in Tel Aviv. Thanks, James. Back here in the U.S. tonight, and to Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, who is back in the hospital tonight in critical care. Here's Martha Raddatz with what she's learned.
Tonight, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin remains in the intensive care unit at Walter Reed Hospital after another emergency more than 2 months after prostate cancer surgery. His duties once again transferred to his deputy. In a statement, Austin's doctor saying the secretary underwent non-surgical procedures under general anesthesia to address a bladder issue. But the Pentagon, which has promised more transparency about Austin's health, would provide no further information.
I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to try to medical speak. I'm just going to point you back to the statement.
Austin came under intense criticism last month for not disclosing his cancer surgery or subsequent serious complications to the White House for several days, even though he was in the intensive care unit and had transferred his duties to the deputy secretary then as well.
I should have told the president about my cancer diagnosis. I take full responsibility. I apologize to my teammates and to the American people.
This time, the notice came immediately. It was 2:20 p.m. Sunday when Austin was taken to the hospital by his security detail, letting the White House know he was on the way. Just over 2.5 hours later, at 4:55 p.m., his duties were transferred to the deputy. Austin's doctors say he's expected to resume his duties tomorrow, although it is unclear how long he will be in the hospital. But doctors say his cancer prognosis is excellent, despite these serious complications from surgery. David?
Martha Raddatz live in Washington. Martha, thank you. We turn next tonight here to newly released police video showing 2 officers firing round after round through the window of a Houston area apartment, shooting a woman who was there at the apartment with her friend. It was her friend's apartment. Authorities say the confusion came after a call from a neighbor about a possible intruder. Here's Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, newly released body camera footage captures the terrifying moments police unleash a barrage of gunfire into this Houston apartment. wounding the woman inside after allegedly mistaking her for an intruder. It all started just after 2 a.m. on February 3rd, when a resident arrived home with a friend. She'd forgotten her keys, so she had the friend break a window to get inside. A neighbor heard the noise, thought it was a break-in, and called 911. The 2 responding deputies find a screen removed and a window broken. They try knocking.
Sheriff's office!
As a car alarm blares in the background, one officer apparently spots a woman inside coming to the door with a gun.
Someone's coming.
Within seconds, both deputies start firing, a hail of bullets. They reload and at least one keeps shooting. Tonight, 28-year-old Ebony Pouncey is recovering after being shot 5 times in the torso and leg. She was no burglar. She was just there with a friend who was a tenant in the complex.
I live here. Please don't shoot.
Ebony's friend, who was seen emerging from her home, says she was afraid for her life.
It took a while to come out because, of course, I was scared. I was thinking I was going to die. I was going to be next.
Both officers have been placed on administrative leave. The Sheriff's Department and the local DA are investigating, David.
All right, Pierre Thomas in Washington as well tonight. Pierre, thank you. When we come back on this Monday evening, the alarming health alert tonight related to smallpox, and it comes from animals. Also remembering a beloved radio broadcaster tonight known to millions in this country. And the Super Bowl, the player catching that game-winning pass tonight, he's right here, and he says he blacked out, doesn't even remember the moment. Tonight, health officials in Alaska are confirming the first fatal human case of a rare virus known as Alaskapox, an elderly patient dying from the virus, first identified in Fairbanks back in 2015. 7 cases detected since then. Symptoms include rashes, fevers, skin lesions. They believe it is related to smallpox and monkeypox, the virus spread by small animals to humans. Health officials say there are no documented cases of human-to-human transmission, and they've only seen this in Fairbanks so far. Well, tonight, the images coming in. 3 large homes at risk of plunging into the ocean in Dana Point, California. This is south of Los Angeles. After the storms, a large landslide, leaving them teetering on the edge of a cliff. Authorities are now monitoring the situation there. Look at that. More rain expected in the area next week, they say, placing these homes at even greater risk of falling. When we come back here tonight, remembering a beloved radio host, millions of Americans listen to him. And catching the winning pass at the Super Bowl tonight, we hear from the player who blacked out. He doesn't even remember the moment. To the index of other news tonight, and marathon world record holder Kelvin Kiptum has died at just 24 years old. He and his coach were both killed in a car crash in Kenya. The first runner to finish a marathon in under 2 hours, 1 minute. He did it winning the Chicago Marathon in October. We also learned today that veteran NPR broadcaster Bob Edwards has died. The longtime host of Morning Edition, a trusted, comforting voice for millions of listeners. No word on a cause of death tonight, but his family now saying that he died peacefully with his wife and daughters right by his side. Bob Edwards was 76. When we come back here tonight, history made at the Super Bowl and the player behind the game-winning moment. Tonight, he says he doesn't even remember it.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir. Sponsored by Etsy. Gift easy with gift mode. Try it now on Etsy.
Finally tonight here, she got there in time. Her boyfriend's team won, but not without so many history-making moments last night. The Super Bowl, one for the history books. The record for the longest field goal in Super Bowl history broken not once,
Moody, the rookie, nails it.
but twice, 57 yards.
He drives it through.
The Kansas City Chiefs mounting an astounding comeback,
Mahomes goes down to the 13-yard line.
forcing the game into overtime for only the second time in Super Bowl history. With just 3 seconds to go in overtime, Patrick Mahomes throwing the winning pass to McCole Hardman Jr.,
Hardman, jackpot, Kansas City.
who remarkably doesn't remember it. This is what he told us this morning on Good Morning America about not remembering a thing.
I didn't know. I blacked out for a second, and I seen Pat run to me. I'm like, okay, it's time to celebrate now.
The Chiefs winning back-to-back Super Bowls, the first team to do so in nearly 2 decades. Mahomes throwing 333 yards to win his 3rd Super Bowl, now only the 3rd quarterback ever to win Super Bowl MVP 3 times.
We're not done. We got a young team. We'll keep this thing going.
The celebrations on the field, Travis Kelce singing instead of his girlfriend. His victory, the team's victory, sealed with a kiss from Taylor Swift. Congrats to the Chiefs tonight, and we're thinking about the 49ers fans, too. What a game it was. Thanks for watching. I'm David Muir. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.